Up next on UTRGV-TV, how this year's voting in the Rio Grande Valley compares to the 2016 presidential elections. A student tells us about their journey to cancer remission. And who will be the next guest for the Distinguished Speaker Series? UTRGV-TV starts now. Welcome back to another edition of UTRGV-TV. I'm Nady Rodriguez. Today is Monday, November 9th, and at the top of this week's newscast. A UTRGV political science professor states many people use different voting methods across the valley in the 2020 elections, leading to an increase in voters this year than in 2016. Our reporter, Alan Martinez, has more.
Voting in person, by mail, and curbside voting were some of the ways that about 60,000 more people voted in this year's election. Assistant political science professor Natasha Altima McNeely says there was another incentive that helped increase voter turnout in the valley.
Here across Texas and nationwide is the sense that many people felt very strongly about the presidential candidates. They also felt very strongly about what are called the down ballot races. But then there were also issues that really drove people to the polls, including here in the valley.
Although education falls under some degree, Altima McNeely mentions that political socialization is a big key role.
Including the family, friends at school, teachers at school, those entities or those agents, if you will, really influence not only influence children's understanding of politics, but the importance that they give to politics.
Altima McNeely says the age category between 18 and 29 years old tends to have the lowest amount of voter turnout in comparison to other age groups. But there was a different outcome this year.
It is important to note that a lot of young people, so a lot of people between the ages of 18 to 29 here in the valley actually turned out, and that the rate of turnout in comparison to previous presidential elections for that group grew. So that's very promising.
Altima McNeely says there's a great interest and potential in the valley, and voting should always be taken seriously.
The valley is important and that people really care about what's happening in politics. Hopefully moving forward, more and more people will continue to find ways to participate in order for their voices to be heard.
Reporting for UTRGV-TV, I'm Alan Martinez.
After battling cancer for 3 years now, a member of UTRGV's Campus Activities Board is undergoing partial cancer remission. Reporter Hector Tames shares his story.
A silent journey comes to an end with the ringing of a gong. UTRGV biology freshman Greg Galvez is currently going under partial testicular cancer remission. He noticed that he had an unusual bump on his body during his sophomore year of high school, but decided not to tell anyone.
I either tell my parents and I risk my high school education, or I can just keep it quiet for the next 3 years. So that's kind of what I decided to do.
Galvez decided to finally tell his mother during his senior year and went straight to the doctor to get a checkup.
I was in very big shock because I thought I was like at a stage 3 or 4. It turns out that I was at a stage 2. My doctor, he said, if you wouldn't have come to us sooner, it would have been like a stage 3 or worse.
2 days before his high school graduation, Galvez went through a surgical procedure to remove the cancer.
After that, I went through proton therapy, radiation, because I was having microinvasion of my lymph nodes on my right side. So we figured that was the best course of action.
He did this for 2 weeks and went through the treatment 12 times. After his last radiation treatment, Galvez got to ring the gong. That symbolizes his completion of radiation therapy.
They brought me to the office and they went over my labs and they said everything was looking perfect. I reacted really good to the radiation. it looks like the lymph nodes aren't being invaded that much. And so they told me, you're officially in remission. You just need to come once a month so we can run some labs on you and talk to you and see how you're doing.
Galvez will continue to receive hospital checkups once a month for 6 months. After that, he'll have to go once every 2 months for a year until he completes remission. Reporting for UTRGV-TV, Hector Tames.
According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, daylight savings may negatively impact your health as a result of an earlier sunrise. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, daylight savings may negatively impact your health due to the sunlight. The CDC explains the extra hour added to your day during the fallback time in the daylight savings can lead to sleep deprivation and reduction in performance, increasing the risk for mistakes, including vehicle crashes. UTRGV graduate Eric Maldonado shares how daylight savings affects him.
Start getting tired even though it's still technically early because it's barely 6, but you see darkness, your body thinks, oh, it's nighttime, time to go to sleep, start getting tired.
1 hour may not seem like a lot of time. However, the sunlight can confuse the body. In Maldonado's case, the sunlight affects his weekly productivity.
I'm leaving everything off towards the weekend, which is not good because I'm procrastinating on everything, so I'm gonna be rushed the whole weekend.
Consider the effects of daylight savings with the next bring forward, fall back, and prepare yourself. The second installment of the Distinguished Speaker Series continues with CNN anchor Anderson Cooper. Student activities will welcome the American journalist to UTRGV via Zoom on Saturday, November 14th. To attend the event, visit VLink on your MyUTRGV account. Under the Events tab, search Distinguished Speaker Series Presents Anderson Cooper and RSVP. Students who RSVP will receive a Zoom link to their UTRGV email. A new library database, Academic Video Online, or AVON, gives students access to more than 62,000 video titles. The new streaming video service contains videos on music, health, history, business, and other topic types of video content. In addition, students can find award-winning films as well as Academy, Emmy, and Peabody winners. To explore Avon, you can visit the link you see on your screen and access the service using your UTRGV credentials. In this week's police reports, 3 people are in the custody of the U.S. Border Patrol. Last Wednesday, 4 people crossed the U.S. border fence. 3 were located at parking lot B1. The 2 men and 1 young male claimed to be from Mexico. The 4th person was not found. Panel buttons are missing from an elevator on the Edinburgh campus. On Wednesday, a male staff member reported someone stole buttons from the north side elevator of the Liberal Arts Building North. The case is still under investigation. And now for this week's Noticias en Español with our contributing reporters Kenia Correa and Natalie Flores.
La universidad lanzó un comunicado por correo electrónico de varias actividades virtuales que los estudiantes pueden realizar para mantenerse involucrados aún en tiempos de pandemia. Una de las actividades que no se pudo ver realizada debido al bloqueo de la aplicación de Instagram quitando el hashtag #VaqueroDrip, donde se identificaban los concursantes mostrando su estilo y quien tuviera más swag sería el ganador de premios figurados por la universidad. Portavoz de UTRGV Patrick González nos explica el por qué surgió este cambio.
Suspendieron muchos hashtags durante las elecciones. Hicimos una búsqueda rápida en diferentes hashtags y mucha gente estaba recibiendo el mismo mensaje que recibimos. Así que no hemos recibido una respuesta de Instagram de por qué suspendieron el hashtag VaqueroDrip.
González menciona que entiende lo difícil que es para los estudiantes ajustarse a esta nueva normalidad. Por tanto, UTRGV está trabajando para ayudarlos a sentirse motivados.
Simplemente estamos haciendo lo que podamos para que los estudiantes sepan que estamos con ellos y que los apoyamos en ese momento y entendemos lo difícil que es.
González agrega que la universidad seguirá proporcionando actividades virtuales para ayudar a los estudiantes con su motivación en su año escolar.
El Departamento de Actividades Estudiantiles de UTRGV programa el segundo evento del semestre de la serie Oradores Distinguidos para este próximo sábado 14 de noviembre. En esta ocasión, el orador distinguido será el presentador de noticias del canal CNN Anderson Cooper. Anderson ha entrevistado a íconos políticos como Donald Trump y Barack Obama y artistas musicales como Beyoncé y Angelina Jolie. Dicho evento tomará lugar en la plataforma Zoom y para asistir ingrese a su cuenta My UTRGV, haga clic en B-Link y en el buscador escriba Distinguished Speaker Series Present Anderson Cooper. Seleccione el evento y enseguida presione confirmar asistencia y finalmente escoja la opción Asistiré al evento.
That's all we have for you today. See you next Monday, and as always, stay safe.